Class, today we're going to be talking about something special. It's a staple video on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Buy these powerful cards before they skyrocket in price. You can consider this as an economic class where I teach you guys about some Yu-Gi-Oh cards that could very much be expensive by tomorrow. Who knows? These are some really good cards that not only are some of the best players in the world looking at, some cards that have caught my attention as well. Of course, big dog, I don't get every single thing right, but some cards that we just recently got right. We talked about how players should be buying Salesman, and that card is going up. We talked about other cards like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon and the Black Goat Laughs, and we have made so much money if you guys decided to invest into those cards. So while I'm not foolproof and why these cards aren't always instant hits, this is a really solid video for advice on cards that you guys should be looking to pick up if you would like to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh without the cards being incredibly expensive. Let's go ahead and jump on in. What's going on with y'all big dogs? And it is an amazing day for Yu-Gi-Oh! I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. So what sparked this buy these cards before it skyrockets in price was Battles of Legends Monsters Mayhem. Oftentimes when new cards or support to older strategies come out, you have to take a step back and look at the entire picture. Look at some of the cards that players are going to need to be able to complement those particular strategies, especially if they become really strong. And just as a reminder, big dogs, if you guys plan on purchasing these cards on TCG Player, make sure to use my link down below in the description. It really helps me out as a content creator. And also, if you want to know where the best merch is at in the entire game, your boy TheCaliEffect got you. We have some pretty awesome Yu-Gi-Oh mats that you guys should be looking to purchase. This one is my Millennium rubber mat, and it is insane. Of course, go to TheCaliEffect.com to pick up your sleeves and other accessories today. Let's go ahead and start off with a very powerful engine that I think is going to make a huge impact. Players already know about the Fiendsmith engine and Yugioh being used as an engine, Mitsurugi, and other strategies alike. But what's been really crazy is because those engines have been dominant for so long, some of the other engines don't get noticed. And one of the best ones is the Millennium engine, in my opinion. A lot of players are starting to pick up the Millennium engine simply because it does so much. Sanjin Wakes from a Millennium allows you to be able to get any Millennium monster from your deck to your hand at the cost of 2,000 life points, because more often than not, you're not going to be playing Millennium Ankh. It's kind of unfortunate, but to be honest with you guys, 2,000 life points is really just a barrier. It's an illusion that makes you actually think that you're paying a lot of life points, but in today's Yu-Gi-Oh, life points don't matter until you don't have any. Essentially, this card reads free level 8, 2,750 attack monster, but then it also recruits another monster to your hand. That card is normally Golem that guards the Millennium Treasures, and then at the cost of 2,000 life points, this card can get you Yugioh Temple. Yugioh Temple can then place a monster from your hand into your spell and trap card zone to be able to place a Millennium monster to your spell and trap card zone. But that really doesn't matter. At the cost of 4,000 life points, you got two monsters on your field. Those two monsters just so happen to be level 6 and level 8, meaning that if you provided additional one or the other, you can have a vast array of rank 8 Exceeds or a vast array of rank 6 Exceeds like DDD Wave King Caesar and other monsters alike. And let's not forget, at the cost of 4,000 life points, you have two monsters on your side of the field. That's pretty much full Fiendsmith combo. What players really like about the Millennium engine is its versatility. Giving you access to either Exceed, Link, or Fusion plays, the strategy is really good at being able to bust in boards. Which, speaking of such, there is a fusion monster that I think you guys should be looking out for. The monster's name is Snake Eyes Doom Dragon. Of course, big dogs, if you guys are playing the Millennium engine, this card is a must-have as well. Snake Eyes Doom Dragon requires a Snake Eyes monster plus an illusion monster, but we're not going to be worrying about that. It can be special summoned just by sending two monsters that were in your spell and trap card zone, and if you guys remember, Yugioh Temple did just that. It's also a level 8 monster that can be combined with your Sinjinin to be able to make powerful rank 8 Exceeds. But there's still more to this card. Upon Snake Eyes Doom Dragon special summon, you can get rid of a monster on the field. And the way that you get rid of monsters with Doom Dragon is really good. A lot of times when you get rid of your opponent's boss monster like Yugioh Detonator or Malice P. Whitebinder, unless you're banishing the card face down, your opponent will always have a resource to get back into them. With Snake Eyes Doom Dragon placing it into the spell and trap card zone, it becomes incredibly hard for a player to get that card back into the resources. And considering that 4,000 monsters can get you 3 monsters to your side of the field field and one of them can be a way to get rid of an opponent's monster, I think that it's very much worth it. There's a ton of rank 8 monsters that you can make to protect yourself before you even invest your normal summon. Some cards that come to mind are number 38 Hope Harbinger or Garunic's Eternity Haeyang of the Fire Kings, and I think that they're excellent Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Hope Harbinger has already been reprinted inside of the second iteration of the anniversary packs, and to be honest with you guys, I don't doubt that some of these cards will be reprinted in an anniversary pack soon. But considering to how Konami has did to other strategies like Castira Bestials, that could be nowhere near soon, which is why I think picking up Garunic's Eternity isn't a bad investment at 30 cents a copy, but also going ahead and picking up Galaxy Photon Lord. Galaxy Photon Lord was recently reprinted in Battles of Legends Chapter 1, but that set completely sucked. It was also one of the hardest cards to get from that set, so while the supply did increase, the demand dwindled because players thought that there was an abundance. And obviously there wasn't a need for Photon Lord. Photon Lord is a pretty good card to have, especially when rank 8 monsters become really important. If you were to ask me what are the best rank 8s, it's the 3 that I mentioned before alongside of Zombie Vampire, which also just so happens to be a really cheap Yu-Gi-Oh card that you could buy and not really miss if it doesn't hit. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Rank 8 monsters just might be the new wave. There's actually an abundance of really good ones. Another one that I think is pretty powerful is Sanafon's Prison, mainly because Abyss Dweller was banned and we are moving to an era where rank 8 monsters are a lot more accessible. And it's not only through the Millennium engine that can be splashed in some of these decks from Battles of Legends Monster Mayhem that makes it possible. It's actually the Horus engine which has been taking the center stage in competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! You see, players have been playing the Horus engine inside of their Crystron deck, but it's been known to be played inside of decks like Phantom Knights or Orcus. It also helps that this Horus engine allows you to be able to get important Orcus monsters into the graveyard while also providing bodies for you to be able to exceed and link summon with. The Horus monsters are actually some of the most perfect cards in existence. Imseti's draw effect alongside of being able to search your King Sarcophagus is important, but I think Hoppy's ability to be able to disrupt the graveyard or provide you advantage is still just as powerful. Dwamutef is a draw up engine, and the other guy, I mean, he's there. The Horus monster provides so much insulation, and since Battles of Legends Monster Mayhem didn't confirm those, and we know we can't get these in the upcoming Mega 10s, it seems that the only way that these cards will be reprinted this year is in another Rarity Collection set, if they decide to be reprinted in a Rarity Collection set. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. I 100% think that you're playing with fire when it comes to cards like this, because there's almost no way in hell that Konami doesn't make another Rarity Collection set. But there was also almost a 0% chance that they could have fumbled on Battles of Legends Monsters Mayhem, and they know how to beat the odds. While some of these cards I presented are a pretty big risk, that's the thing about buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's pretty much always been a risk. I would say if you can get them for a really good price and then get your money's worth out of them immediately, then you're on a pretty good track. And then there's also the world where Konami announces the next Rarity Collection set, but these cards aren't confirmed immediately, giving you even more time to be able to gain value from them. It's always been a numbers and time game, my friend. That's some of the best advice I can give to you. Now, lastly, are 2 cards on my radar and I think are really good. Jurashin, the Cursed Thunder God, is a ridiculous Yu-Gi-Oh card, and it rolls so well with Punk. What this card does is that each time your opponent activates a card or effect, you get to gain 300 life points. So this card immediately off the bat allows you to be able to fix some of the problems that Punk can have when it comes to the late stages of the game. But also, during your opponent's turn, you can pay 1,500 life points and tribute this card to either destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls or destroy all face-up spell and trap cards they control. This is incredibly good for Punk because it's a level 11 psychic monster. It's pretty much support for the deck, and it also checks so many cards in the game. This is just one of those cards that so many players overlooked, and you're going to need to secure your copy if Punks become a really good Yu-Gi-Oh strategy, and the odds are pretty high. The last card is a card that I've already talked about before. Light and Darkness Dragon Lord is almost like the Jurashin of its appropriate set. The reason why this card is starting to become really good is because Dragon Maids can easily fusion summon in this card. It's actually scary how easily they can make this card. And who wouldn't want to have a card that can negate every single one of your opponent's card effects? The card also allows you to be able to special summon a dragon monster to your side of the field if your opponent gets rid of it. In my opinion, is not only good for Dragon Maid, it's good for Dragon decks in totality. So anytime Konami comes out with new dragon support, especially if they happen to be level 8 light or dark dragon monsters, it only makes this card more valuable. And that's all that I have for the cards that you should be looking at, big dogs. Of course, homework. I want you guys to post down below in the comment section what are some cars that you guys are looking at and why. Really simple request, guys, but it helps boost the algorithm, which helps me make more content for you. Until then, class, make sure to get to your next one, which means you need to be clicking on these videos so I can catch you on the next one.